Quick update on my OpenClaw setup. It's getting better. Yesterday, we finally got it connected to a smart brain, which is also fast. So I got it connected to the Codex brain because I have an OpenAI subscription. And when you use OpenClaw, you really want to use it through a subscription instead of direct API costs. If you are worried about the cost, which I think most of us are. And the subscription things just weren't working, and so I tried the Kimi K2.5 because I've heard that one is pretty good and much, much cheaper. It's like 100 times cheaper. And you can just therefore just use it straight through API, but it was just so slow. It was frustrating. But I don't know what happened. I didn't change anything. I just came back the next day. Suddenly Codex Brain was working. Because originally, um, I'm not gonna find it at this point. I just got some error message, so something wrong with the API call formatting. And now it's good. I've been testing a bunch of the skills that we have. So this is on my personal MacBook, right? Which is maybe a bad idea. I don't know. Hopefully it's fine. But I want it to be a powerful assistant. A powerful assistant. I don't want to have to use my computer anymore. Although it's still very normal. I'm trying to live in the future. I feel like it's outdated to be using these devices, the computer and the phone. I want to get off this. Please automate it all for me. I'm trying to make a new operating system, just a whole new paradigm. It's all going to be through my AI. It's all going to be a very like natural, intuitive human type of interaction, and it can handle all of the digital stuff. So probably the coolest skill is the one that's called Peekaboo, which essentially just lets it control your whole Mac the way you use it. Like with it can open any app, like it can literally click around with a cursor if it wants to. It can see the screen. So that means it can do anything on your computer. Essentially, it struggles sometimes with certain UIs, depending on the complexity. And so I was trying to set up some Google API because that was one of the skills was to give it access to your Gmail and Google Calendar and stuff. And so I wanted to set up that skill, but to do that, it can do most of it automatically, but you have to go to the Google Cloud Console to create your app and set up the API keys and your auth credentials and blah, blah, blah. And let's go to the, what is it, Cloud or Google? The Google Cloud Console. Unless you work in this one regularly, it's such a headache to open websites like this. Like this, I think it's similar as like Amazon Web Services. They have a million features and products, and this is super big in enterprise and whatever. But as an individual who's just trying to do some small stuff, like this website is, there's too much going on. There's so many buttons everywhere. Even now, I'm still getting pop-ups. I don't know why. And of course, it only takes a few minutes to have to go in here, create the API keys and whatever. But still, like if you could automate it, wouldn't that be nice? And that's what we successfully did yesterday. So I had OpenClaw go in here and navigate to enable these services. So it's like searched up each one of them. There's like a button, it clicks like enable. We also had to set up some OAuth credentials where it did some of it, but it did fail. There were some parts where there's like you click it and there's a drop down and then menu, and I wasn't really able to navigate it. So I had to do some parts myself. But and it's of course much slower, but as a proof of concept, it was kind of nice to see. And as soon as you start, then I just want to see whether it works because then I can start extending it to other websites. And it worked surprisingly well, actually. Now it's also, it can control my Spotify through like a skill, which is just a wrapper around the CLI, which doesn't really have any value right now, but it's just interesting feature to have for the future. It can control my iMessages, which is cool. I have the Telegram right now. Still, there's no like real value being created here. I'm just like playing with this tool, but we're getting there. The setup is getting more and more stable. One point I really want to get to is the part where I don't use any other AI tools anymore. I want it to all go through this one, through this Telegram chat or iMessage chat, or I think they're even making their own mobile app for OpenClaw, but I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter, but just like one centralized interface, or no, not necessarily. I want all my communication to go through my system because I want all of the logs and the memories to be saved always. So right now I'll like change between tools all the time. I'll sometimes ask here, I'll sometimes go to ChatGPT or Gemini, or I'll do like a Google search and then there's like the AI search thing. And then these sessions and AIs, they don't have knowledge of what I did with the other ones. And so I found myself a lot of the time, you want to do a good prompt, you want to provide context, but you're really repeating stuff that you've already, it's knowledge that you've already expressed to your computer or your phone before, which means ideally you should never need to re-express that even once. But in order to get that work, you need to run it all through one system. Or what I am going to do, haven't gotten around to it yet, I'm going to export all my history from ChatGPT, from Gemini, from Anthropic, from Grok, and put it all into one place, which I don't know if OpenClaw is a system that I'm going to continue with forever or not. Right now it seems very promising, but it doesn't really matter. It's just all the point is that all the data needs to be accessible together. I'm very excited about that. For now, it's not there. And then the thing is, since whenever there's a new capability, AI model, they make it all available through API, which means I don't really need to use these other apps. I could just use, for example, my OpenClaw and just tell it like, hey, there's this new GPT version. Let's use that one a little bit for our chats. And then I can just use that one through my OpenClaw chat through API. I think I'm not sure exactly how they do it because with the Codex models, I know, well, they're just on API, but when you use the like actual ChatGPT app, um, I'm not sure exactly how this works, whether this is like just a model that you access through the API or whether because the app is trying to make it simple for users. So, I mean, it kind of has a bunch of tools bundled together, right? That you don't see. Like it'll run a little bit of code in a sandbox, do some document analysis. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Same with the Gemini app. I think they've added this like quite powerful image editing now through the Nano Banana tool. So it's kind of like using a different AI model in the main AI chat. But I think without looking at it too closely, I think I can pretty much just centralize it all through one system and then just use all the other tools that keep on being developed and released just through my system so that the logs are always and the history and the memory is being built up in one place. And so I will never need to repeat myself. The system will always know, what I worked on last, no matter which AI model it was, which would be pretty cool. So that's a little bit of an update on the OpenClaw setup for now and a little bit of thoughts. I haven't really done much. I have a lot of ideas for how I want to make it cool in the future. I see so much potential. But now it's working pretty stably because, and I would say, so I did stuff yesterday. It was really the first time it like worked well when I got the Codex brain on it because before that I had too many like issues or it was too slow, cost me too much, whatever. Now it's working well. And right now I just have the ChatGPT Not Pro Plus subscription, which I even got for free for 1 month, which I don't know why. As I used up this one yesterday, I'm using this, and I mean, as I'm getting into this, I'm probably gonna upgrade my subscription, but because I need to have it working more to increase my leverage, so I'm gonna need to upgrade the subscription. But for right now, I haven't gotten to that point just yet.